Kyle Busch has become one of the most closely watched figures in NASCAR, ahead of the upcoming race weekend, as his recent comments and competitive approach have sparked intense discussion among rivals throughout the garage. The veteran Richard Childress Racing driver enters the event determined to reverse a challenging stretch of results, but his outspoken attitude and aggressive mindset have once again placed him at the center of attention. Several competitors have acknowledged that Busch remains one of the toughest drivers to race against, especially when he feels he has something to prove. Much of the recent attention stems from Busch's candid assessment of his season and his determination to fight for stronger finishes. During media appearances leading up to the race, the two-time Cup Series champion made it clear that he is unwilling to lower his expectations despite facing setbacks throughout the year. His confidence has drawn mixed reactions from fellow drivers, with some praising his competitive spirit, while others view his comments as additional pressure on an already tense championship battle. The spotlight intensified after Busch openly discussed the increasingly aggressive nature of racing in the NASCAR Cup Series. He suggested that drivers are taking bigger risks than ever before, particularly on restarts and during late race battles. While some competitors agreed with his concerns, others interpreted the remarks as criticism directed toward rival drivers, creating fresh debate throughout the paddock just days before the green flag drops. Several rivals have also pointed to Busch's history of using psychological tactics before major races. Throughout his career, the veteran driver has never hesitated to speak his mind when discussing competitors, race strategy, or controversial incidents. As a result, many drivers pay close attention whenever Busch addresses the media because his comments often become a major talking point before race weekend even begins. Adding to the intrigue is Busch's strong record at many of NASCAR's premier venues. Despite recent struggles, competitors recognize that the veteran remains capable of contending for victories whenever he finds speed in his race car. Crew chiefs and drivers alike have noted that counting Busch out is often a mistake, particularly when he arrives motivated by criticism or fueled by disappointing results from previous races. The discussion surrounding Busch has also gained momentum on social media, where fans continue debating whether his aggressive approach remains an asset or has become a liability. Supporters argue that his willingness to race hard is part of what has made him one of the most successful drivers of his generation. Critics, meanwhile, believe his confrontational style sometimes creates unnecessary conflict with competitors and distracts from his on-track performance. Bubba Wallace once again became one of the most talked-about drivers in NASCAR after a series of incidents and emotional reactions throughout the 2026 season drew intense scrutiny from rivals and fans alike. While Wallace has shown strong pace and competitive performances for 23 Cups Racing, several on-track moments have reignited debates about aggressive driving, accountability, and driver conduct. One of the biggest flashpoints came at Michigan International Speedway, where Wallace confronted Carson Hocevar following a race incident that contributed to a major multi-car crash. Witnesses described Wallace delivering a lengthy and animated post-race lecture to Hocevar, accusing the young driver of creating unnecessary chaos through overly aggressive racing. The confrontation quickly spread across social media, with many NASCAR observers debating whether Wallace was justified in calling out his rival or whether emotions had simply boiled over after a frustrating afternoon. The controversy added to an already difficult stretch for Wallace. Earlier in the season, he suffered several disappointing DNFs, despite showing competitive speed. Following one such incident at Nashville Superspeedway, Wallace openly expressed frustration, saying he often becomes the target of criticism even when circumstances are beyond his control. His comments generated mixed reactions, with supporters sympathizing with his situation, while critics argued that the veteran driver needed to focus more on results than public complaints. Another moment that fueled discussion occurred after the Watkins-Glen race. Television cameras captured a heated conversation between Wallace and fellow Toyota driver Christopher Bell on pit road. Initial speculation suggested the two drivers were involved in a serious disagreement, prompting widespread reaction from fans and media. Wallace later clarified that much of the public interpretation was inaccurate, explaining that frustrations from the race had spilled over into a conversation that was ultimately less dramatic than many believed. Rival drivers have also weighed in indirectly on several incidents involving Wallace throughout the season. At Talladega, where a massive Big One crash eliminated a large portion of the field, discussions quickly emerged regarding responsibility for the accident. While Wallace accepted accountability for his role in one incident, other competitors used the opportunity to criticize the increasingly aggressive nature of superspeedway racing. Despite the criticism, Wallace has continued delivering strong performances when circumstances allow. His ability to remain competitive amid constant scrutiny has earned respect from many within the NASCAR garage. Even when rivals disagree with his approach or public comments, few question his determination and willingness to speak openly about difficult situations. That combination of competitiveness and honesty has made him one of the sport's most polarizing figures. NASCAR Cup Series driver Ryan Blaney has recently found himself under intense scrutiny following a series of aggressive on-track incidents that have sparked debate across the motorsport community. Known for his competitive driving style, Blaney's latest races have been marked by high-pressure battles that repeatedly escalated into contact-heavy situations. The most recent controversy came during the closing laps of a NASCAR Cup Series race in Nashville, where Blaney was involved in a dramatic multi-car fight for position. According to race reports, a late race bump from Blaney triggered a chain reaction that ultimately affected Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick, with Elliott being pushed into Reddick and causing significant damage to both cars. Blaney later acknowledged responsibility for the incident, stating that the contact was not intentional, but the result of an aggressive push in a tightly packed field. His admission of fault only intensified discussions among fans and analysts, many of whom questioned whether his racing style has become too risky in crucial moments of the season. This incident is not isolated, as Blaney has also been involved in several other high-profile on-track clashes earlier in the 2026 season. At Kansas Speedway, he made contact with A.J. Allmendinger during pit road activity, an error that caused damage to both cars and led to penalties that severely affected his race position. In addition to pit road struggles, Blaney was also collected in multi-car wrecks during chaotic race starts and restarts this season, including an early all-star race incident that damaged several vehicles. These repeated appearances in major wrecks have fueled criticism that he is becoming increasingly hot-headed in pressure situations, even if some incidents were judged as racing misfortune rather than pure error. Despite the criticism, Blaney continues to demonstrate strong pace and remains a championship contender. Earlier in the season, he secured a significant victory at Phoenix Raceway, showing that his speed and racecraft remain among the strongest in the series when circumstances align in his favor. As the season progresses, the spotlight on Ryan Blaney is expected to intensify further. Fans and analysts alike are now closely watching whether he can balance his aggressive instincts with cleaner execution, as he aims to avoid further controversy while still competing at the highest level of NASCAR competition. The 2026 season at Daytona International Speedway has delivered plenty of excitement, but it has also generated several controversies that sparked heated debate throughout the NASCAR community. From officiating concerns to viral social media moments, the iconic speedway once again became one of the most discussed venues in motorsports. As fans dissected every major incident, questions about consistency, fairness, and NASCAR's public image dominated conversations across racing circles.